The sky is falling. Once there was a bunny who lived in the forest with another animal and birds. One day, the bunny was resting under the tree. Suddenly, a nut fell from tree on his head. It made a loud thud. He panicked and started running as fast as his little feet could take him. On the way, he met other rabbits. The scared rabbit yelled,
"The sky is falling. The earth is about to explode. Run or you will all die."
The rabbit started scurrying after him. All the animals in the forest were amazed to see so many rabbits together. A tiger stopped them and asked,
"Why are you running?"
The rabbit answered,
"You should be running too. The sky is falling."
The tiger also started running for his life. News spread and more animals joined them. When the lion saw all the animals fleeing, he stopped them.
"Where are you going in such a hurry and why?"
The lion asked. All the animals said together,
The sky is falling.
The lion chuckled.
"Has anyone ever seen the sky fall?"
The rabbit replied,
Your Majesty, I was sleeping. The sky fell suddenly and I ran away.
Amused, the lion said.
"Come on, let us go to where the sky fell."
All the animals followed the lion and rabbit to the place it all started. The lion looked here and there. His eyes fell on a big coconut.
"The sky has not fallen here."
He assured.
The sound came when this coconut fell on the ground.
The rabbit and all the animals were ashamed by their foolishness. They quietly returned to their homes. Moral for the story: do not trust anyone blindly.
The thirsty squirrel. Once upon a time, during summer, the sun god became very annoyed with the humans for wasting water. He decided to punish them badly. The angrier he grew, the hotter the weather became. The heat was becoming difficult to bear, and water was drying up everywhere. A naughty squirrel named Nutmeg lived in garden. Nutmeg was known for his nimble leaps and bushy tail, but today he wasn't his usual energetic self. Every day, he went down to the nearby lake to drink water. Because of hot summer days, the lake dried up. And for the few days, he was not able to find any water to drink. His throat felt parched, and his stomach rumbled with thirst. He went out in search of water. He looked everywhere but could not find any. He felt that he would die of thirst. As his last attempt, he prayed to the rain god for some mercy. The rain god felt pity for him and showered down rains. And thus, due to the thirsty squirrel, the whole forest received a long and cool rain shower.
The false friend. A deer and crow were great friends. One day, the crow saw the deer with a jackal. Jackal were known to be cunning animals. So the crow warned his friend deer that the jackal could not be trusted.
Hey, friend. Today, I saw you with jackal. Please be careful, you cannot trust him, he can be very dangerous for you.
The deer ignored the crow's warning. Next day, the deer went with the jackal to a field, where the deer got trapped. The jackal sneered.
"I'm going to call the farmer. He will kill you and I will get a share of your meat."
The deer felt so sad that he could not listen to his friend crow. He cried. The crow heard his friend's cries and came to help him. He asked the deer to pretend that he was dead. The farmer came as soon as he heard the jackal's howls. He saw a deer lying dead in his trap. He opened the trap to check, but the deer ran away. The angry farmer hit the jackal and drove him away. Moral of the story: false friends are worse than declared enemies. The dove and the bee.
Once upon a time, a thirsty bee was drinking water from the river. Unfortunately, the bee lost his balance and fell into the river water. "Help, help, help," cried the bee. But no one could hear his cries. A dove was sitting on a nearby tree. Seeing the bee in trouble, the dove dropped a leaf near the struggling bee. The bee climbed over it, and the leaf ferried her safely to the shore. But just as the bee reached the ground, bee saw a hunter arrive. He was about to shoot the dove, but the bee immediately rushed towards the hunter and stung him on the hand. The hunter cried in pain and dropped the gun. Meanwhile, there was enough time for the dove to fly to safety.
Always remember, an act of kindness can go a long way. Moral of the story: kindness begets kindness. The clever fox. Once upon a time there was a clever fox who lived in forest with other animals. One day, when Fox was looking for his prey, he saw a crow sat on the branch of a tree with a piece of meat in his beak. Fox came by and thought of a plan to get the meat from the crow. The fox went to the crow and wished him a good day. But the crow did not open his mouth since the piece of meat would have fallen down. The fox then said,
"You are looking very charming. You should have been made the kind of all birds. Please sing a song in your sweet voice for me."
The flattered crow could not help himself and replied,
Thanks.
but as soon as he opened his mouth to speak, the piece of meat fell on the ground below. The clever fox immediately picked up the meat and ran away. Moral of the story: do not trust people's words, trust their actions.